Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's a great honor to have Sheikh Bilal here with us today to talk about the evil emperor, basically talking about black magic. Before we start, I'd just like to introduce Sheikh Bilal, although in reality he doesn't need much introduction. He was born in Jamaica. He grew up in Canada and part of his life was spent in East Malaysia. He was at one time part of a rock group and he used to play the guitar professionally. And I believe he used to have a motorbike as well, and he was quite popular. And because of that, I think his parents sent him back to Canada, where he accepted Islam in 1972. He then completed a diploma and a bachelor's in arts in Usuluddin, as well as later on a master's in arts in Usuluddin from the Islamic University of Medina. And I just found out yesterday, mashallah, that during his time in Saudi Arabia, with Allah's grace, he managed to, with a few other brothers, convert about 3,000 American soldiers posted in Saudi Arabia during the Gulf War. So, like I said, the Sheikh doesn't need much introduction, so I'll leave the rest to him to talk about.
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه من استنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين. Praise is due to Allah and may Allah's peace and blessings be on the last Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and all those who follow the path of righteousness until the last day. The title, The Evil Emperor, refers to Satan. He is the ultimate of evil emperors. And all who are evil after him are his troops, his foot soldiers, but he is the ultimate enemy. And Allah has told us that we should take him as an enemy. What he did to Adam, he repeats with us every day, every year, year after year. It's a repetition. The story of Adam, as Muslims we believe, it is a true story. It is not something symbolic. It actually happened. And it represents the basic outline of the struggle between good and evil. All of the basic elements are there. The role of Satan is sometimes questioned. And this is a part of the tricks of Satan to create doubts in people with regards even to his existence. People ask the question, if Allah knew that Satan would trick Adam, and Adam would eat from the tree, so why did Allah create Satan in the first place? This is the question. Inshallah, we will answer that question at the end, because it's a question that we should have an answer for. We should understand why would Allah create what appears to us to be evil. This is the same issue which leads many in the West to atheism. If God is good, where did evil come from? That's the big question. At any rate, when dealing with the forces of Satan, and the talk is not going to be on black magic. I mean, actually, that's not what I was under the impression. So, I don't know, maybe you got some bit of information and I got another bit of information. Black magic, will be looked at, but that's not the topic of this afternoon. Let me just check here. Did everybody come here thinking they were going to be talking about black magic? Those who thought I was going to be talking about black magic, put your hand up. Thought that this whole talk was about black magic. Oh, I guess that was his mistake then. Right. That's good. Anyway, in order to understand how to deal with evil in this world, evil which is propagated, promoted by Satan and the forces connected to him, we need to understand first and foremost what is the long-term goal of Satan. Their long-term goals, and we have short-term goals. We know this in management and planning. And no doubt, Satan has them too. So it's good for us to know what they are and put them in the proper perspective. The long-term goal, Allah mentions in Surah Al-Fatih, that's the 35th chapter, verse 6. إِنَّمَا يَدْعُو حِزْبَهُ لِيَكُونُوا مِنْ أَصْحَابِ السَّعِيرِ. He only summons his faction to be owners of the flaming fire. The long-term goal of Satan is to drag each and every one of us into hell along with him. That's the long-term goal. Now, how he achieves that goal is through short-term goals. He has a set of short-term goals when he deals with individuals. He starts on one level. If he's not successful on that level, he shifts to another level. If that doesn't work, he shifts to another. He operates according to how we respond. So, the quickest way to get people to hell is what? Somebody tell me, what's the quickest way to get people to hell? Shirk. Get them to worship other than Allah. That is the quickest way. And that's what he has most of the world doing, isn't it? Most of the world is actively involved in shirk. So, for those people who are not actively involved in shirk, we could say that is only the Muslim world. He has another strategy. But I shouldn't note that though we're saying the basic difference between the rest of the world actively involved in shirk and the Muslim world not actively involved in shirk, that is from a doctrinal perspective. Meaning, if you ask the average Muslim who goes to the graves, prays to the dead, makes tawaf around the graves of saints and others, do you believe in gods other than Allah? He would say, no, that's shirk. That's shirk. He knows that to worship other than Allah is shirk. It's idolatry. Not permissible. He knows it, as I said, on a doctrinal level. So he doesn't have particular idols in his house which he will worship and devote time and love and etc. to. But, in fact, he has taken human beings, some human beings, as gods besides Allah. Because he calls on them in worship. Well, he says, no, I don't really call on them in worship. I'm calling on them for help. I'm not worshiping them. I'm just calling on them for help. But Allah said, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. Allah has already stated that we're not supposed to seek help from anyone other than Him. I mean, outside of the living or next to us, we need somebody to help us fix the tire in our car, that's another situation. But those who are not present, dead, or absent, just not around here, they're in another part of the world, to call on them in dua is worship. To do that is to make them gods besides Allah. So we do have a big chunk of the Muslim world involved in idolatry on a practical level while rejecting it on a doctrinal level. So now, those who are aware of the doctrine and the practice, who can't be tricked into worship of other than Allah, he then comes to them through sin. He seeks to get them